The bravery of the French resistance during the Second World War has been well documented, but what's much less well known is that Britain also had an army of resistance fighters. It was set up in secret when the threat of Nazi invasion was at its height. Now, 70 years after the Battle of Britain began, details are emerging about this hidden defence force. Robert Hall has the story.
This is Coles Hill on the Berkshire-Wiltshire border. It's a peaceful picnic spot today, but less well known is its wartime history, a period when villagers became aware of mysterious visitors, high security, and occasionally the sound of gunfire. And that's because Coles Hill was a secret training base for Winston Churchill's underground army. During a summer when the nation is marking the events of 1940, these are reminders of another operation. An operation so secret that those involved remained silent for most of their adult lives. In the weeks following the evacuation at Dunkirk, invasion seemed a near certainty. German forces were massing across the Channel, and Hitler's generals had already drawn up their plans.
Now Adolf Hitler stood just as Napoleon had stood more than 100 years before, and looked across the English Channel to the one fighting obstacle that stood between him and world domination.
Desperate times called for desperate measures.
They started from scratch.
Every available man and woman was summoned to defend their country, some of them recruited to a unit where life expectancy was just 2 weeks. Visiting the former training base in Oxfordshire, Bob Millard recalls the day he joined the British resistance.
If there was going to be an invasion, you wanted to be part of something that was going to stop it. We went to visit this chap, so we signed the Official Secrets Act, and he said, I can now tell you you've joined the auxiliary units. They are an underground stay-behind unit which is supposed to come up and interfere with the supply lines of any invasion.
After 70 years, the camouflaged underground bunkers are gradually disappearing. From here, the auxiliary units would have mounted their attacks on the invader.
We were taught how to lay charges, how to blow railway lines, how to cripple a tank, and in particular, how to destroy ammunition and petrol dumps. Firearms you couldn't use. If you were attacking and shot, you'd be found and chased. So you were taught how to use a truncheon, how to use a knife to dispose of sentries.
In the end, the auxiliary units weren't needed, but their story fascinates all who hear it. As historians uncover details of their secret life, campaigners are calling for official recognition of those who were to make Britain's last stand. Robert Hall, BBC News.
Let's have a look at the latest weather now with Thomas Schaffernacker. I know we need a bit